Thank you very much, Professor Srivatsan. Now the floor is open for discussion. I would like to invite comments, observations, as well as queries to the panelists. Please identify yourself.
Good morning. My name is Sudhakar. I represent IFCO Kisan Sanchar Limited. Just briefly, we have about 10 lakh farmers who are being serviced through mobile phone. We use voice format only, and some of the services are mentioned on the lines which Ms. Gulati had just now mentioned. So, but what I am referring to is one particular NGO-related activity that we have taken up in South. We have 1,200 women who have come together, took a loan for mobile, and they have gone into goat rearing activity. Now, the point I wanted to share and where I thought probably the chairman can throw some light on is, we did a course on mobile. Women, whenever it is convenient to them, they can access 1-minute capsule messages on goat rearing and also about legal entitlements. This was done in association with the Commonwealth of Learning, but in a pilot mode. One point that comes up often is the recognition. Is it possible an institution like IGNOU can come up with a small certification kind of course? I'm thankful that Professor Srivatsan has mentioned the education passbook. They may not be able to do everything at one go, but if in case they credit a course, do a course in goat rearing, they get a certification, then they can go to a bank and get a loan. Would it be possible?
Yes, it is very much possible. Probably when you have time, you go to our exhibition hall, you will see 3 or 4 witnesses of such people who have acquired a certificate, just a certificate from IGNOU, and then they got loan and also started as entrepreneurs. We have very specific activities which support certification of this kind. Even with mobile, for example, we have tied up with one mobile company for providing minimum English language communication, and it is going on very well. So we have definitely, you can be in touch with Professor Srivatsan.
Sure.
And there is a procedure for certification. In IGNOU certificate is 16 credits. That is a 6 months program. But we have also just modular certification. We can, out of the 16 credits, maybe a 2-credit module can be there. So we have that flexibility is inbuilt in our system, but we will be definitely looking at it. You can be in touch with Professor Srivatsan to do that.
Sure.
But if you give a particular syllabi and from your experience, we will see how that can be integrated into this.
Sure. My second question is to Ms. Gulati. There are definitely synergies in the kind of activities that you have been undertaking. How many number of people could be covered, and can we, the strength that I see is that we can bring the scale aspect into picture. Can we, if in case an organization like ours has to get associated, what is it that needs to be done?
As far as numbers are concerned, right now we are in the pilot stage. We are covering about 18,000 women in 8 different pilot projects. And I'd like to inform you that your organization is partnering with us in Rajasthan along with Bharti Hexacom and are rolling out a project in Ajmer district already. So your organization is already partner with us, right? And we are, yeah, sure. Once we are through with the pilots and we have our learning in place, we can upscale the activities.
Dr. Murthy would like to respond.
I'll just supplement what Professor Pillai and Ms. Archana has told regarding just your query. DOSCC under the Ministry of IT, Department of IT, we have the course called Computer Concept for Common Man, CCC course. And there is that is 80 hours course, and anybody can appear for the examination. Any school 10th class pass is a minimum eligibility, he can pass and get the certificate. And Another thing is we worked with DGENT, Department of Employment and Training people. Now, from this year onwards, it was made compulsory for all the trades of in the ITI certification, that is 8th pass plus students. They need to have a certification from on the computer literacy. So that certification again from DOSCC. There is a small course of 50 hours course, basic course in computers, just how to use the computers, how to send an email, all these facilities, 50 hours course. Once that course, this course has become now mandatory for all the trades of ITI certification. Now the CCC course, it has made compulsory to all the government employees of Gujarat and Maharashtra and some place of Bihar. For any person who are getting into the employment in the basic in the state government employment, this course is now become mandatory. So now today once in 3 months this examination is being conducted online. It is 100 questions. It's a 1 hour duration, and now concurrently 1 lakh people are appearing for this examination. And now from this month onwards, we wanted to start on-demand examination. That is, you register for today, and within 2 weeks you can complete the course. After the 2 weeks, you will be intimated within 3 days notice. You can appear the examination anywhere that is there. It is an online examination. It's a basic computer literacy course. It's already available. Yeah.
I'm Dr. Srivastava from IGNO, Indira Gandhi University. Sir, this is World Forum, and my interest is to know what is the state of affairs in other countries with regard to IT mass literacy. Do we have any program in other countries?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, any delegate? Yeah, please. You can come here on the podium. So that other
Mic, provide the mic.
Thank you. I'm from Bangladesh. My name is Anir Chaudhary. Recently, we actually started a series of telecenters across the country. In all, I think the Honorable Ambassador talked about it in the morning. All panchayats, equivalent to panchayats, the local government institutions called Union Parishads. All Union Parishads now host a small telecenter. And most of these telecenters are actually providing some sort of mass literacy on IT. But actually I was going to ask a question. I don't know if that answers your question. There is no organized way of training these people. So each entrepreneur, there are 2 entrepreneurs in each of these centers, and they're going ahead and doing the training on their own, in their own way. So some are teaching the computer basics using one book or the other. Some are teaching from their own experiences. Some are actually even doing a bit more advanced courses like Photoshop and stuff like that. But there are 2 problems we're facing. One is these centers are not accredited. So there is no recognition for the service that they're imparting. So the people who get the training, they don't get certified. They don't get a certificate. So I think it'd be very interesting to hear from you whether the Open University that we have or the Technical Education Board that we have in Bangladesh, whether they should be involved or how they should be involved. So that's one issue. And the other issue is, what you're pointing out is, let's say there is no accreditation needed, okay? And the accreditation is basically on the basis of results. So basically the students who take the courses, they go and take an exam. Yeah. And the exam provides an indirect form of accreditation. So that's another possibility of doing this. So it would be interesting to hear from you. Ours is a recent experiment. And in terms of other mass literacy, there are NGOs which are doing it, but those are few and far between. There is no organized, across-the-board, massive literacy, IT literacy for the masses. So there is another question I would like to ask, but maybe after you respond.
Regarding the accreditation of DOSCC courses in other countries, already there is a program is on. MOU has been signed between Singapore and India, and Sri Lanka and India, and Japan and India. Some of the courses of DOSCC are recognized and vice versa. Mutual recognition is there. and this examination from Nepal also. This examination of O-level is being conducted even in Sri Lanka. Earlier it was conducted, now I think they have stopped, in Sri Lanka and Nepal together simultaneously along with the examination centers in India. We can work out a mechanism of getting a certification from DOACC for the students who are appearing in your centers. They can just, we can work out two models, either accreditation mode or just appearing for the examination, and you will conduct the examination, certification can be given from here.
Okay.
We can work out those things.
Okay, fantastic. One other question, if I may.
Yeah, please.
What we have seen with teachers, these are secondary and primary school teachers we're talking about.
Yeah.
So this is not IT literacy for the masses, but IT literacy for the students in primary and secondary schools.
Yeah.
What we have seen is that for the last, let's say 10 years, various organizations, including the Ministry of Education, Microsoft, Intel, they've been conducting IT literacy for the teachers, which have not really been very useful. So again, the basics of Microsoft Word, Excel, and so on and so forth, but they have not been given the environment to apply this knowledge. So we have started something new, and that has actually been very, very successful, and this has been only about a year, is that we introduced the teachers to Google and Microsoft PowerPoint and asked them to actually create content for the subject that they teach. So they teach history, geography, English, Bengali, religious studies, whatever it is. And what they have to do is they have to go to Google and search for content online. So they go to YouTube, they go to all kinds of other sites, and they use Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint to aggregate some of that content. And what that has done, and through a blog that we have set up for the teachers and teacher trainers, they've been able to share this across the country. So now this IT literacy, so to speak, has been very, very useful, and they can use this small IT literacy. They don't know how to even type very quickly. They don't know how to write letters, but they can use this knowledge to increase the quality of general education. So now the kinds of courses that you're doing, is there any linkage to the job that they have to do? Is it the one shoe fits all type of course that you're trying to do here? So have I explained the context adequately?
Partly, yes. The thing is, the education world will continue to evolve, and it needs to be increasingly localized. Okay, even within Bangladesh, you may have varying people in different areas. Like Chittagong will be very different from this and so on. So what I suggested is there should be a reference course material in maybe for example, if you take Khan videos in YouTube, there are 10 minutes video clips of at least 20,000 such clips available, promoted by many IT stalwarts, including Bill Gates and all, which are freely available in basic science, maths, and all kinds of education. But you have to convert it into local action, maybe in local language. You have to do the dubbing. Dubbing tools are available online. So teach the teachers these kind of skills. They will be able to localize it. And tomorrow they may be uploading into the Khan videos their version also. This we have seen considerably. We had experience in Tamil Nadu when we wanted to teach some operating system like Linux, some basic skills. We found the lessons available in the internet were very good, but it was very difficult for the local people. They could not understand the American accent. All that we did was we got a 10th class boy who was very addicted to watching American movies. So he understood the language, asked him to repeat the same sentences in his tongue. So which is a Deshi thing. And after that, everybody understood the Linux. Okay, I'm thinking you have to innovate, that's all. I think it's, obviously, because the more contextual it is, the more value it has for that particular context area. Otherwise, general skills are only very basics, right?
I think there is a question. You wanted to ask something. You also wanted.
Hello, I have a question on behalf of the delegate from Tajikistan. In Tajikistan, they also pay a lot of attention to providing ICT training to women. And what the government does is that after the training is provided, they actually guarantee 2 years employment to each young woman so that she is not stuck at home having kids and never having an opportunity to go and actually do some work. So the question is that does the Indian government does anything similar to that? Do you guarantee the employment to the women who have gone through any sort of the ICT training? Thank you.
Okay, I'll just answer one part of that question because, in India we have different ministries dealing